There will be a rise in rapes and robberies if minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan are given Indian citizenship, warns Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. He's drawn parallels with the collapse of law and order in countries in Europe with indiscriminate mass migration. He warns law and order will crumble. The BJP has accused Arvind Kejriwal of fear-mongering and the opposition of blatant Muslim appeasement politics.
CAA showdown escalates. Modi government assures Indian citizens.
देश के अल्पसंख्यक भाइयों को कहना चाहता हूं, माताओं को कहना चाहता हूं, सीएए से किसी भी देश के नागरिक की नागरिकता जानी नहीं.
Kejriwal warns of dangers.
पता नहीं वो कौन लोग हैं, क्या हैं, सारी कानून व्यवस्था चरमरा जाएगी, चोरियां, डकैतियां, बलात्कार बढ़ेंगे हमारे देश के अंदर, पूरी कानून व्यवस्था, और पता नहीं कैसे कैसे लोग आएंगे वहाँ पे. सुरक्षा व्यवस्था, हमारे देश की सुरक्षा व्यवस्था का क्या होगा?
Mamta calls act discriminatory. Fear-mongering of fair concern. Big focus on NewsTrack.
So the Delhi Chief Minister claims between 1 to 1.5 crore minorities from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh will come to India and take away jobs and homes meant for Indian citizens. Opposition leaders also say that Article 14 of the Constitution is being violated. CAA, read with NRC, will be anti-Muslim, they warn. But is this all fear-mongering and Muslim appeasement politics ahead of 2024 elections, as the BJP claims? We get you all sides of this very stormy political debate. I'm Gaurav, Sawant as always. Let's get started with the headlines. BJP announces 72 candidates in its second list for Lok Sabha elections. Nitin Gadkari repeated from Nagpur. 9 sitting MPs in Karnataka dropped. Ministers Piyush Goyal and Anurag Thakur fielded. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ramps up Mission South ahead of Lok Sabha elections. Will tour 3 southern states from the 15th of March. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin hits out, says that the Prime Minister will spread lies in the state before polls. Congress selection panel proposes the names of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as candidates from Amethi and Raebareli respectively. The final decision on Lok Sabha fight to be taken by the Gandhi siblings themselves. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar speaks after SBI submits data on poll bonds, says the poll panel will furnish all details on time. The deadline mandated by the Supreme Court is 5 p.m. Friday. Congress announces 5 Nari Nyay guarantees ahead of polls, includes 1 lakh annually for poor women and 50% quota in central government jobs. The ruling BJP and the opposition have locked horns over the contentious Citizenship Amendment Act in the run-up to the crucial 2024 elections. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal expressed fears that up to 1.5 crore minorities from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh could settle down in colonies near you, and there would be a rise in rapes and robberies, riots and collapse of law and order. The BJP hit right back, accusing Arvind Kejriwal and the opposition of Muslim appeasement and vote bank politics. Our political bureau brings you a top story.
पता नहीं वो कौन लोग हैं, क्या हैं, सारी कानून व्यवस्था चरमरा जाएगी, चोरियां, डकैतियां, बलात्कार बढ़ेंगे हमारे देश के अंदर.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal predicting disruptive fallout of CAA, predicting flood of Pakistanis, rape, riots and dacoity.
बांग्लादेश से, पाकिस्तान से अगर झुग्गी लगा के आपके, पता नहीं वो कौन लोग हैं, क्या हैं, सारी कानून व्यवस्था चरमरा जाएगी, चोरियां डकैतियां बलात्कार बढ़ेंगे हमारे देश के अंदर, पूरी कानून व्यवस्था। और पता नहीं कैसे कैसे लोग आएंगे वहां पे, सुरक्षा व्यवस्था, हमारे देश की सुरक्षा व्यवस्था का क्या होगा? चारों तरफ दंगे फैल जाएंगे। ये क्यों लाए हैं कानून?
Kejriwal's CAA rape analogy made the BJP see red. It launched a tirade asking Kejriwal to stop painting Hindu and Sikh migrants as criminals.
भाई अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, ना हम बलात्कारी हैं, ना हम लुटेरे हैं, हम वही हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जो कोविड में आप हमारे को हाथ जोड़ जोड़ के कहते थे लंगर भेजो। हम वही हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जिनको हाथ जोड़कर कहते थे रकाबगंज के अंदर हॉस्पिटल बना दो, ऑक्सीजन दे दो। हम वही हैं, हम बलात्कारी नहीं हैं, हम तो लोगों की जान बचाने वाले लोग हैं। एक घटिया बयान अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को वापस लेना चाहिए।
The Sikh migrants who fled Taliban atrocities in Afghanistan and Pakistan were upset too. Sikh refugees asked Kejriwal not to tag them as rapists and asserted that they can die for dignity of women.
उनको कह रहा है जो गुरु नानक का सिख पगड़ीधारी है, मेरे को एक बता दो कि किसी डकैती में, किसी बलात्कारी में, किसी उसमें इन्वॉल्व हुआ हो।
मजलूम की रक्षा करना हमारा सिखों का फर्ज है। केजरीवाल जी कहना हमारा इतिहास पढ़े, शायद पढ़ा नहीं होगा उन्होंने।
Team India, however, has been relentlessly training guns on the centre, calling CAA an anti-Muslim law.
हम क्या को पसंद नहीं करते, इसी के लिए उसमें जो 5 कम्युनिटी को रख दिया, मुस्लिम को निकाल दिया, जैसे हिंदुस्तान में वो लोगों का कोई कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं है।
एका बाजूला भाजपा आहे जो धर्माधर्मामध्ये द्वेष पसरवतो आहे, घटना बदल करू इच्छितो आहे, आणि दुसऱ्या बाजूला इंडिया नावाची आपली जी आघाडी झाली ती देशभक्तांची आघाडी आहे।
It will only give citizenship to those who do not belong to the Islamic faith and to belong to the other faiths. Any law which differentiates people on faith is not acceptable and it is discriminatory.
AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi too attacked CAA.
ये कानून जो मोदी सरकार ने आज से 4 साल पहले बनाया था वो संविधान के खिलाफ है। आप रिलीजन की बुनियाद पर कानून नहीं बना सकते।
Home Minister Amit Shah has rejected claims of bias and said India will not abandon persecuted minorities in its neighborhood.
लाखों करोड़ों लोग पाकिस्तान से और बांग्लादेश से अपना धर्म बचाने के लिए, अपना सम्मान बचाने के लिए इस देश में आए, उनको नागरिकता नहीं मिलती थी। अपने ही देश में वो नागरिकता के बगैर अपमानित होते थे। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हिंदू, बौद्ध, जैन, ये सारे सिख, ये सारे लोगों को नागरिकता देकर उनका सम्मान करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने।
Will the escalating CAA showdown dominate the political discourse in the run-up to 2024 polls? Bureau Report, India Today.
So is the opposition fear-mongering, or is the opposition raising a fair concern? Is CAA anti-Muslim? Will there be a rise in rapes and robberies if persecuted minorities from the region are given Indian citizenship? Will India become like Europe in terms of apprehension, that there will be a collapse of law and order, and citizens will suffer at the cost of migrants taking away finite resources, jobs and homes? Joining me on this special broadcast, Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Varis Pathan, lawyer and spokesperson of the AIMIM, Raghav Avasthi, advocate and political analyst, Tausif Khan, a political analyst and advocate, and of course India Today's executive editor, Kaushik Deka, who's written extensively on the Citizenship Amendment Act. Varis Pathan, is there merit in the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal saying that there could be riots and rapes and security will collapse if CAA is implemented and minorities from the region are given Indian citizenship?
Well, Gaurav, to begin with, there are 2-3 things which I would like to emphasize on. The first and foremost is that the law, the CAA, which the draft has brought, is on the basis of religion. And it's against the right to equality, and it's unconstitutional. See, there are several Supreme Court judgments are there on to this effect that you cannot form a law on the basis of religion, and so this is unconstitutional. Second thing which I would like to emphasize is that earlier you cannot see the CAA in isolation. You have to take it along with the NRC and the NPR. What we saw in Assam, the Supreme Court monitored NRC thing, crores of rupees were spent on that, and when ultimately the things were done, counting was done, many of our Hindu brothers and sisters, they did not have their name mentioned there. Amongst them, there were Muslims also whose names were not there. In that, there was Chief Justice's family, his name was not there. Now, what will happen if this law is brought is that the Hindu brothers and sisters whose names did not appear in that NRC thing, they will get the citizenship. But the Muslims whose name did not appear there, whose names were missing, they will not get benefit of this. The third important point which I would like to emphasize is that why now the entire nation is asking, just 2-3 days are left for the election commissioner to declare the model code of conduct. We are in the election mode. The Lok Sabha 2024 election would be starting any day.
Okay.
And for 5 years, the government was sleeping. They did not do anything. And all of a sudden, they is bringing that this is not just to polarize the situation, because the nation is asking them.
No, but when the government says no citizenship of any Indian would be taken, irrespective whether he is Hindu or Muslim, why wouldn't you accept that? Let me take this to Guru Prakash Paswan. Mr. Paswan, Arvind Kejriwal says 1.5 crore minorities from the region will come to India. There will be a rise in rapes and robberies. Is he raising a fair concern, sir?
We have to understand that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has shown us that there could be heights of double standards. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is the same person who addressed a press conference with the photograph, with the portrait of Baba Saheb Ambedkar behind him. And I must enlighten Mr. Arvind Kejriwal that the people to whom he is referring to as rapists and dacoits, they are Dalits. 27% of Pakistan in 1947 was Hindus. Now it's less than 2%. Who were all these people? They were Meghwal, they were Valmiki, they were Ot, they were Dalits. Similarly, in Bangladesh as well, I advise Mr. Arvind Kejriwal to please read the letter of resignation of Mr. Jogendranath Mandal, the first Dalit Chief Minister, Law Minister of East Pakistan. What is this? You will only use Ambedkar for your politics, for pursuit of power. But I must remind your viewers, Gaurav, that the politics of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has been feudalistic since the very outset. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has so many members in Rajya Sabha. Not a single Dalit is there in Rajya Sabha. So Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's tirade against the Dalits of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh is very much acceptable, is very much welcome, because it is the textbook modus operandi of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Point number 2, Mr. Waris Pathan was just speaking on CAA. I challenge Mr. Waris Pathan. You give me one word, you give me one law, you give me one act, one provision of the Citizenship Amendment Act that disallows or debars a member from Muslim community to seek citizenship in India. Sir, please stop this misleading. Please stop this misinformation campaign, sir, for God's sake. This is simply not acceptable. The third point, Mr. Waris Pathan is also suggesting that why now? Gaurav, had we done this 3 months ago, he would have said Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, the elections are going on. Okay. Is it our fault? You cannot view each and every policy decision with the view on election. And that is the reason.
Since you raised a very specific question, Waris Pathan, you want to quickly respond before I bring in our other guests.
That as well.
Waris Pathan.
Yes. Well, allow me to rebut what my friend just now said is totally wrong. He is spreading lies and canards. Let me remind him that the CAA is a gateway to the NRC. Amit Shah time and again has stated so that पहले CAA लाएंगे, उसके बाद हम NPR और NRC भी लाएंगे. So what will happen to that NRC which was monitored by the Supreme Court? What happened in Assam? Everybody saw what will happen to that crores of rupees were spent and what happened to the countings. So that is why I said this is against the Constitution. This is against the right to equality, and we cannot go by our ICC.
अरे झूठ बोलना बंद करिए, भ्रम फैला रहे हैं आप.
How can you bring a law on the basis of religion? Come on, tell me. You are a lawyer, I think so. You show me a simple law in the entire Constitution which says that you can form a law on the basis of religion. You show me from the Constitution.
Sir, if it is illegal, you can go to courts of law and oppose it. But let me bring in Raghav Awasthi. On the legal point, let me also bring in Raghav Awasthi. Arvind Kejriwal fears that refugees will take away homes and jobs that are meant for Indian citizenship, Indian citizens. Is the new law disadvantage Indian citizens, Mr. Awasthi?
Yes. So what the law basically does is that it offers an accelerated track to citizenship. The normal track is of course available to everyone, including Muslims, to members of persecuted minorities from specific countries who arrived in the country prior to a cutoff date in 2014. This is all it does. After 2014, if you come to India, irrespective of what your religion is, you'll have to go through the same process. That is the first thing. So it does not affect any Muslim who is already in India, who already has citizenship. That is pretty much all it does. And to relate it to the NRC is even more disingenuous. It is completely disingenuous. And if Virus Pathanji is shaking his head, it means that he has not even read the law. The law only says that you get an accelerated track if you belong to certain categories.
I have read the law. I am very well conversant with the law. I think
no,
so. You have not read the law. We are petitioned before the Honorable Supreme Court. We have filed a petition in the Supreme Court.
Sir,
we have filed a petition in the Supreme Court.
Virus Pathan, I'll come to you to respond. Let Mr. Awasthi complete his point,
and the Supreme Court, the central government said that the drafts have not come, and so we cannot reply. Now the drafts have come. We will see what is to be done there. Now the matter will be argued before the Honorable Supreme Court.
There can be discrimination and classification if the classification has a
no,
rational
show me, can there be discrimination on the basis of religion? What about right to equality then?
Okay.
There cannot be discrimination on the basis of religion in the Constitution, sir.
Okay.
What about the right to equality? What about that? Kindly read the Constitution, then come before the national channel and make your submission.
So does it come under that reasonable classification? We will argue on both sides. We'll get you both sides of that story. But Tausif Khan, BJP also accuses Mamata Banerjee of blatant Muslim appeasement. Ravi Shankar Prasad says Mamata Banerjee is losing political ground. She is resorting to Muslim appeasement politics by one, fear-mongering, and two, questioning that why is this being done just before Ramzan. What has that got to do with anything, sir?
Rahul, Mamata Banerjee has dared to speak the truth. Mamata Banerjee is calling out the bluff of BJP. We have all of us have seen what the BJP Chief Minister from Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, has said. He has very categorically said that not even one individual will get a citizenship under CAA unless it passes through the scrutiny of NRC. Now, what does that mean? If this law is not an exclusionary law. I heard someone was saying that this is merely an accelerated track. Yes, I agree with that. But why keep certain religion out of it? Why this discrimination? Is this allowed under the Constitution?
No, but does Constitution of India apply to Pakistanis and Afghanistanis and Bangladeshis? Constitution of India applies to Indian Muslims, but does it also apply to Pakistani Muslims?
No. That's a very wrong statement to say.
Why?
The Constitution of India applies to every people living in India, a resident in India.
So why should Pakistani Muslims take advantage of Indian laws or seek to take advantage of Indian laws, or Bangladeshi Muslims or Afghan Muslims?
You are talking about giving. Please, Gaurav. Your BJP and this law is talking about giving citizenship under accelerated track to people who are already in India. Regardless of their religion, they are all in India, and each of them will enjoy benefit under the Article 14, which is guaranteed by the Constitution, right to equality.
But not to Pakistani Muslims. Not to Pakistani Muslims.
Discriminate. Don't be so full of hatred.
No, I am sorry. How is that hatred? India's resources are finite. How are India's resources meant for Pakistani, Afghan Muslims?
You purposely want to not understand the law. Well, it is so clear that the illegal, unconstitutional discrimination, which is there in this amendment. Let's consider this one scenario. What was the law before this amendment was introduced by BJP? Did the government have power to grant law or to grant citizenship to all the people that they are talking about under this amendment? Yes, they had the power.
Which it still does. It only accelerates it for some refugees. But let me bring in Kaushik Dekha. I want to bring in Kaushik Dekha on a factual position.
The only purpose of introducing the amendment is to exclude the category of Muslims.
Pakistani Muslims, Afghan Muslims, Bangladeshi Muslims. Why does this heart bleed for Muslims of Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan is what I want to understand.
But Constitution.
I want to bring in Kaushik Dekha. I want to bring in Kaushik Dekha on a factual position.
Amit Shah cannot make mockery of Constitution.
Sir, it can be challenged in courts of law. But Kaushik Dekha, does the Citizenship Amendment Act take away citizenship of any Indian citizen. And so when figures of 1.5 crore or 2 crore are touted, is there a cut-off date of 31st of December 2014? What are numbers according to your research, Mr. Dekar?
It doesn't take away citizenship from anyone. It is an inclusionary process. At the same time, both sides are actually spreading lies. First, the logic behind CAA was that it wanted to give citizenship to those who were persecuted in these three countries. And the argument was that because these are Islamic countries, so Muslims are not supposed to be persecuted in this country. So Muslims are excluded. That was the reason. And that is the reasonable exclusion that the Article 14 provides, that when it talks about equality and other things. But very unfortunately, the law doesn't anywhere mention the word persecution. So anybody who belongs to these six communities, religious groups, and those who have entered India before 31st December 2014 can apply through this process. Yes, it is true that this has been made to accelerate or to facilitate easier granting of citizenship to certain categories of people. At the same time, the other side is claiming that it is connected to NRC. It is not. Of course, again, the BJP has given the opposition this opportunity to connect it, because Amit Shah himself said that understand the chronology, first the CAA, then NRC, then NPR and all those things. But NRC is completely different and CAA is completely different. The Assam NRC process, let's not discuss here because it's a completely different Supreme Court monitor process, whereas the national NRC process will be completely different. Now, most interesting part is that those who are opposing the NRC, they probably do not know the provision of NRC was first included in the Citizenship Act 1955 in 2004 when the Congress was in power. The idea first came after the Kargil War that there should be some identity card issued to our citizens because of infiltration and all that. Then the provision of NRC that there will be a register of citizens, which documents will be verified. Of course, it says that the government may create that register, but the provision came in 2004. So it's very interesting how both sides are spreading lies. CA, it doesn't take away citizenship, as I said, and not everyone can get citizenship here. There is a cut-off mark.
Sir.
Of course, if it has to create, let me finish. If it has to create any impact on demography, then
we know the intention of the government, and that is why we are challenging it. The entire nation stand with us. They say that yes, this is unconstitutional.
Gentlemen, one by one. Varis Pathan, I am coming to you,
We are worried. Yes,
rightly
you said Amit Shah NRC will come, NPR will come.
Also first declare themselves as foreigners.
We are afraid that this thing might lead to anarchy in our country. Why you want to give citizenship to a particular person, and why you want to exclude the Muslims from it?
Sir, but the fact also remains, why would any heart bleed? You know, I seriously want to understand this. If a Muslim is persecuted in Pakistan, how is that India's responsibility?
Across India would not be much higher. It's not lakh, it's not in the crores, as the Home Minister also claims.
Sir, I'll just come to numbers because these numbers are very critical in this debate. But I want to bring in Varis Pathan. Varis Pathan interjected. Varis Pathan, both the Union Home Ministry and the Union Home Minister have clarified CAA does not take away citizenship of any Indian citizen. Sir, isn't this fear mongering that CAA is anti-Muslim? I'm very specific. CAA is not anti-Muslim as is being claimed.
Well, Gaurav, you may trust them, but we know the intentions of the government very well. The government of the day is very intentionally done this. Amit Shah time and again said we will be getting the NRC, the NPR, CA is a floodgate to that, and we know what will happen once the NRC starts. As I stated so earlier, that in Assam, it was a Supreme Court monitored NRC being done there. How can you exclude that? Lakhs of our Hindu brothers and sisters' names were excluded from there. Crores of rupees were spent. And I am saying time and again, I reiterate that one of the family of the Chief Justice, ex-Chief Justice of India, his name was missing in that. And what will happen to him now? To his family? They will not be given
they will produce, they have to produce a document.
But the Hindu brothers and sisters whose names were excluded, they will be given the citizenship as per the new law.
Sir, India cannot become
let me give you an example. In
everybody to come
every year there is a flood.
Indian citizenship.
In Himachal, every year flood takes place. What about the documents if they are washed away? Gaurav, in Himachal, every year flood comes. The documents are washed away. From where do you expect
I want to bring in Dr. Paswan.
Where will they get the documents from?
Please specify. Opposition says this is anti-Muslim, it discriminates on religious grounds, and it's not just CAA, but NRC and NPR after CAA that will deny Muslim citizenship. And Mamata Banerjee is very clear. She will not permit its implementation in Bengal, sir. What can I
come in, please, after?
Yes, Mr. Awasthi, immediately after Dr. Paswan.
Even the Telangana state government has stated so earlier. Mamata Banerjee, Kerala, everywhere people they don't want to implement this. How are they going to implement this now?
Okay.
Several states in the country are opposing it.
Gaurav, this is not the way to debate.
No, go on.
Varisji, when you were speaking, no one else was speaking, sir. You are speaking of constitutional. No, Varisji, you are speaking of constitutional ethos. Please have the patience and the grace to listen to other people as well. Gaurav, I don't understand. This is beyond my comprehension. For a political party, AIMIM, that translates into a conference for Muslims, is teaching lessons on secularism. I don't understand. The same Mr. Waris Pathan, whose party says Jai Bhim, Jai Meme, whose party says Dalit Muslim unity, they are dead against the inclusion of Dalits from adjoining countries. When they are facing systemic persecution, when they are facing rape, when they are facing violence, when they are facing murder. You will conveniently say, when it suits you, Jai Bhim, Jai Meme, Dalit Muslim unity. But when Dalits are coming to your country seeking refuge, when Dalits are coming to your country seeking citizenship, you are opposing tooth and nail. This is beyond me. वारिस जब सुनिए आप, वारिस जी सुनना पड़ेगा आपको. ऐसे नहीं होता है. सिर्फ वोट के लिए, राजनीति के लिए दलित मुस्लिम एकता की बात करेंगे. और जब पाकिस्तान का दलित वहां पे उत्पीड़ित होता है और आता आप उसका विरोध करते हो, ये आपका असल चेहरा है. This is your real anti-Dalit face. आप सीए के विरोधी हैं, आप दलित विरोधी हैं, आप सीए के विरोधी हैं, आप अम्बेडकर विरोधी हैं, आप सीए के विरोधी हैं, आदिवासी विरोधी हैं. ये बात लिख लीजिए आप. ओवैसी जी को बोल दीजिए. मुझे पता है आप इंटरफेयर करोगे. मुझे पता है आप इंटरफेयर करोगे.
Waris Pathan, let Dr. Paswan complete his point. I'll come to you, but I'll come to you after I've brought in, Mr. Awasthi. But please, Dr. Paswan, complete your point, sir.
No, Gaurav, I understand his desperation. ये व्याकुल हो जाते हैं. इनको दलितों का वोट चाहिए. दलित मुस्लिम एकता की बात करेंगे, लेकिन एक दलित का उत्पीड़न होता है, दलित बहन का रेप होता है पाकिस्तान में, बांग्लादेश में लाखों की संख्या में उनकी हत्याएं हो जाती हैं. जब वो भारत में आते तो इनके पेट में दर्द होता है. You are a face of radical Islamic fundamentalism, and I say it again. If you are against CAA, you are against the Dalits of the country. If you are against CAA, you are against the tribals of the country. If you are against CAA, you are against the legacy of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. The next time you go on a stage, you say Dalit Muslim Ekta. The next time you go on a stage, you say Jai Bhim, Jai Meme. I am going to remind everyone that the real face is anti-Dalit. And let me also educate you, sir. I challenged you in my previous observation. आप मुझे एक शब्द बताइए. You give me one line, one provision of CAA or the rules that disallows or debars a member from Muslim community to seek citizenship. Whoever has come after 2014 will be treated at par. Okay. Hindu, Muslim, जो भी है वो at par treat किए जाएंगे. But stop spreading this misinformation, Mr. Waris Pathan. I know your politics survives on this. आपके लिए राजनीतिक अस्तित्व का संकट खड़ा हो गया है.
Dr. Paswan, let me bring in Raghav Awasthi. Raghav Awasthi, Waris Pathan raises the point. Why not Muslims? Why not Muslims of Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan in case they are facing persecution? Why not them? Why only Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, Christians and Parsis, sir?
I would really hope that Mr. Pathan gives me the opportunity to answer the question that he has raised. There is an article called Article 14 in the Constitution which says that there shall be equality and equal protection of laws for citizens, for people across India. That is the first thing. The second thing is that it permits reasonable classification. The classification has to be based on an intelligible differentia, and the differentia has to have a nexus with the object. The object of the act in this case is to protect minorities in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh who are facing discrimination. That is why they have been granted an accelerated track. Unless, of course, Waris Pathan can show that the population of Muslims in Pakistan and Bangladesh has gone down, like the population of people who adhere to these religions has gone down, he has absolutely no case when it comes to Article 14. That is the first thing. As far as the NRC is concerned, if at all there is an NRC, of course, as of now, there is no such proposal. If at all there is an NRC, everybody who has come after 2014 will be treated at par. However, If you have come before 2014, then also you have to show documents. Everybody has to show documents. So what he is indulging in is fear mongering, and irrespective of what these so-called chief ministers of these southern states are saying, all my friends from South India are in overwhelming support. As far as this act is concerned, they support the act. Hindus and Dalits, Hindus across the country are supporting this.
Okay.
But people like Varis Pathan are spreading misinformation because they want riots to happen.
That's a great charge. That's a very great charge to level. But let me get Tausif Khan. Let me get Tausif Khan.
Later.
Let me get Tausif Khan to
well,
respond.
Such kind of blatant charges are being made on your channel.
No, sir,
and Gaurav, you are sitting quietly and you are allowed.
No,
you would allow us to make our point.
I'm getting Tausif Khan to respond. I'll get you also to respond, sir. We are getting all sides of the debate.
If you cannot stop them,
Tausif Khan.
Gaurav Sawant, if you cannot stop them, Varis Pathan can stop them. I will stop them. I won't allow them to spread license on your television. I won't allow them. You should have stopped them. Tell him to withdraw his statement.
What won't you allow?
He is indulging in communal hatred. He is indulging in right word. He is indulging in hate mongering. How can you allow him to make such kind of statement? Apologize before the entire nation. Who is he? Who is he? Alright, you know law. You know law. What is law? Kindly go and read Article 14, 15 of the Constitution. Kindly read the Constitution. Kindly read equality before the law. Don't know anything, just come before the national television and make such kind of blatant statements. And yet you say you question, please allow us to make our point. We will not allow you to make such kind of false. We will not allow you to make spread lies and correct. We won't allow you henceforth.
Constitutional authority. I dare you to
because the anchor is quiet. The anchor is allowing you. We will stop you. We will stop you. We will stop you.
I just want to understand what this acrimony is all about. I'm permitting everyone to make a point, gentlemen. What is this acrimony all about?
We will not spread hatred in the country.
Okay, I want to bring in Tausif Khan. I want to bring in Tausif Khan before I bring in Kaushik Deka. Tausif Khan, how
you were given time to make your
no,
point.
I am sorry. Okay, Varis Pathan, give us a moment, sir. Varis Pathan, give us a moment, sir.
And you started your communal hatred. You don't.
No, Gaurav.
Okay, Tausif Khan, BJP accuses Mamata Banerjee of blatant Muslim appeasement politics and fear-mongering. If you are opposing CAA, you are anti-Dalit, says Dr. Paswan of the BJP.
See, Dr. Paswan can say whatever he wants, as long as it does not make sense. Now, you see, one of the panelists on your TV, either it was a BJP spokesperson or someone were sitting as an analyst, said that show me a provision which deprives Muslim any benefit under this law. Now, they are the very line where the religion are mentioned. That is where the benefit under the law is deprived to any person not belonging to the five religions.
Is it denying that to an Indian Muslim?
No. It is
so
giving benefits.
There are those whose heart bleeds for a Pakistani Muslim, a Pakistani Muslim, an Afghan Muslim, and a Bangladeshi Muslim who maybe...
If you are done...
No, I'm just trying to understand.
I will address that. You are saying, first of all, this benefit is being given to the people living in India who have come from different countries. But it is denying to the same category of people. There is an exclusion on the Muslim community. Or, for example, there is an exclusion to Jews as well. Even if a Jew is persecuted elsewhere, will not be given citizenship in India.
He can apply for citizenship and get it. He can apply for citizenship and get it.
Only 5 religions are mentioned. Why these 5 religions only? So
how many of those religions originated in India?
No, Tausif Khan. On the basis you giving a benefit.
Hinduism originated in Bharat. Sikhi originated in Bharat. Jainism originated in Bharat. Buddhism originated in Bharat.
Buddhism has other countries. Christians also have so many other countries.
Fair enough, but these are religions that originated in this land.
No.
So where else will persecuted Hindus go if not India?
There is Nepal. You are saying Jains. You're giving citizenship to Parsis from
where do maximum Parsis live across the world?
But the same Parsi who is persecuted in Iran, he will not get the benefit.
So you think Parsis will go to Iran?
What is the logic?
Okay,
only,
Kaushik Dekha is
the only
explaining-
purpose is to exclude. Only purpose is to exclude the people of religion not belonging to the 5 religion mentioned in the amendment.
Kaushik Dekha is getting the factual position to you, sir. But I seriously, why should Indian Muslims be worried is the point I am raising.
No.
Kaushik Dekha is
First of all,
responding.
this presumption that you are making, that I am not speaking fact and the BJP spokesperson is speaking
I
fact,
am not
shows
making
your
any
bias.
presumption.
So
I'm
kindly do
asking
not
questions
use
of
those
you.
words.
I'm asking
Kindly
questions
do
of the
not use those
BJP.
words.
I'm sorry.
Do not
Why
use
do you
those words.
why do you
What
have
I
this
say are
persecution
views that
syndrome?
what BJP
I failed to understand.
discrimination.
Kaushik Dekha is coming in. I'm
Gaurav,
sorry,
you're doing
sir.
discrimination.
Nobody derails the
You
debate.
cannot certify that BJP also only speaks of fact.
I am sorry, I've never said BJP speaks.
panelists
I
on
am
TV does
sorry, I've
speak
not
fact.
specified
That
anything.
shows
I have
your
asked
bias.
questions to all. Kaushik Dekha,
I know
please
you may-
respond.
you-
Kaushik
what
Dekha
compulsion
is
you have to
responding
be so
only.
biased
Kaushik Dekha's
towards
audio
BJP.
stays up. I
Kaushik
want
Dekha,
Kaushik
speak on the
Dekha
point,
to
not
give
here
me
and there.
facts on numbers. Facts on numbers.
Gaurav.
Your report in
Gaurav.
India Today, Kaushik Dekha, pegs the number of refugees from 15 countries. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 15 countries. It's a UNHCR report of 2018 which pegs the number at perhaps 1,95,867. So explain, Kaushik,
Yes.
where does this figure of 1.5 crore come from?
Yes, Gaurav, there is no 1.5 crore number. I'll go by step. Now, that number that you have quoted has also come down. So if you go by UNHCR report of 2022, there are only 46,000 asylum seekers or refugees in India. Leave them apart. But there are some other clusters also, as I mentioned in my story, that there are some around 80,000 people in
Kashmir.
Jammu and Kashmir who have come from Pakistan and have been living there for years and years. There are some Matua community people in West Bengal. Not all of them have got citizenship, but those numbers by no means. Of course, everybody loves to quote the Assam NRC. Now, 1.9 million people have been excluded from Assam NRC. But the strangest part is that of them, only 6 million are Muslims. 6 lakhs are Muslim, 13 lakhs are non-Muslims.
Yes.
So you can say that now why I am saying so that everybody says that Muslims need to fear CA or Muslims need to fear NRC. Both CA and NRC are as a legal provision. They are not against Muslims. Of course, CA doesn't include Muslim because of a particular reason that the government has given, but the law doesn't even mention that reason. So if tomorrow there are 247 pending applications in Supreme Court.
He's contradicting himself.
The Article 14, the reasonable restriction
The first
provision
sentence he says it
may
does
not apply to it
Muslims.
because
The
the
other
law
sentence he said,
doesn't
yes,
mention that
Muslims are excluded.
the law has been done because of persecution. They don't mention. So the government should have been careful on that part. But the logic behind the CA, as we know, was to give faster citizenship to those who have been persecuted in these 3 countries. And it is a basic understanding that these people see India as their home country because earlier Pakistan, Bangladesh, India.
The logic behind the
together.
CA presently is
Now,
to
leave
polarize
that
the
aside. Now,
situation
leave
prior
that
to
aside.
2024
Whether
Lok
it's
Sabha
connected to
election.
NRC,
Varis Pavan, give me
Kindly
20
link
seconds,
that-
sir.
kindly mention
Kaushik
that
Dekha
there was-
complete his point. I'm coming to you.
Kindly-
Certainly not. No Indian Muslim who is a citizen of India.
The logic behind getting the CA at this stage is to polarize the situation prior to
Being taken
2024.
away from them.
But sir, who is
and nothing
polarizing?
can be taken away from them if someone is a
He's
citizen of
polarizing,
India.
he's projecting his own
BJP.
election onto the
Assam has even
BJP,
proven.
because they have failed in the guarantees, that is why now they want to show
But
the
who's
people that,
polarizing,
okay,
Varis
we don't
Pathan?
have answer
Is-
for the
is-
Everybody
15
knows
lakh guarantee.
Hyderabad
You don't have guarantee.
One by one. Raghav Avasthi
BJP
and
is
Varis Pathan
polarizing
for
the
a moment, please.
situation
Raghav Avasthi
because
and
the
Varis
BJP
Pathan.
has totally failed in the development plan.
Sir,
The BJP has failed.
But Varis Pathan, is the real fear, as mentioned by Kaushik Dekha, that in Jammu and Kashmir, for example, there are 80,000 people, to a large extent, a large number of them are people of Hindu origin, and they're Hindus. They will get citizenship, they will get voting rights, and that would impact electoral fortunes in Jammu and Kashmir. Is that the fear? Is that the opposition to Jammu and Kashmir? Similar things in Bengal also. Varis Pathan.
Well, Mr. Dekha is contradicting himself. First, he says that this will not impact the Muslims. In the second breath, he says that yes, if the Muslims are excluded from this, they are excluded. Now, what does he say? What does he mean by that? And what is the logic he's saying? The logic
that's not what he said, sir. But fair enough, you make your point. I'll come to question.
The logic. Allow me, the logic behind getting the CAA prior to the 2024 Lok Sabha election is only one thing, to polarize the situation. Now allow me to make my point, sir. So many decent people were sitting here in the debate. They were showing the decency just 15 minutes back that okay, we follow the constitution. We must allow the person to rebut. Now what happened to the decency? What happened to the decency? Why suddenly? When I am making my point,
decency, you are putting lies
one by one. As soon as Mr. Pathan finishes his point, Raghav, and then Kaushik and Dr. Paswan, one by one.
मैंने आपके जलते हुए जख्म पे नमक रख दिया, ऐसा हो गया. मैंने आपके झूठ का पर्दा फाश कर दिया, तो नाराजगी आपको होगी, मगर please bear with me for few seconds. I have been given an opportunity to make my point. The main logic behind getting the CAA rules at this stage is only one thing, that is to polarize the election prior to the 2021 Lok Sabha. Because the government, Modi, has totally failed in implementing the guarantees, which he said 15 lakh rupees were to be deposited, which he failed. 2 crore youths were to be given the jobs. They have failed in that. People of the nation are asking them questions. Farmers are protesting on the street. They don't have answer to that. SBI, what about that? The bonds will be getting that very
Dr.
day.
Paswan, you want to quickly respond to that before I bring in Raghav Awasthi? Okay, only Dr. Paswan now. Last 5 minutes on the show. Dr. Paswan, complete your point, sir.
Gaurav, if you allow me to quote from British historian
Alice Albania.
Bond matter, you brought this issue.
Gaurav, I did not speak. Gaurav, this is not the way to debate.
Absolutely.
Gaurav, this is not the way to debate. When he was speaking, everyone was listening. Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Gaurav, I would like to quote a British historian, Alice Albania, who in her book Empire of Indus, The Story of a River, she says, and I quote, Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan, 1948, who will clean the streets and latrines of Karachi in case the Hindus did not come back? Who will clean the streets and latrines of Karachi in case the Hindus did not come back? That is why you wanted the Dalits to stay in Pakistan. And now those Dalits are back in India. Mr. Waris Pathan and his political party, Mr. Waris Pathan and his leader who repeatedly says Jai Bhim, Jai Meen, who repeatedly says Jai Samvidhan, is insulting the maker of the Samvidhan. Mr. Waris Pathan and his political party is insulting the legacy of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, because obviously he does not like Dalits being accommodated. Dalits being accommodated. I will again say, Waris Pathan ji, vyakul mat hoiye. Gaurav ji, Gaurav, I did not speak when you were speaking. Gaurav, I did not speak.
I have the last. Mr. Awasthi, you wanted to complete your point. You wanted to respond. You wanted to respond to Waris Pathan and Tawseef Khan raising the point that this is discriminatory. Only Mr. Awasthi. Only Mr. Awasthi for a moment, please. Go on, sir.
And his father have been the MPs for Hyderabad for so many years now. There has been no development in the old city. The old city is as dirty as ever, so he should not talk about development. The Owaisi family are land grabbers.
No, sir. No personal aspirations. No, sir. Sir, let the debate is on CAA and it should remain on CAA, sir.
Trying to polarize. BJP is not trying to polarize. He's trying to polarize by spreading misinformation. The act does nothing against any Indian Muslim. Even if you're a Pakistani or a Bangladeshi Muslim or an Afghan Muslim, you're in India, you can get citizenship through the normal procedure.
Tawseef Khan, that's the point. Tawseef Khan, that's the point. But for the record, I want to say the points that were made by Mr. Awasthi about Mr. Owaisi, India Today does not back any of those, because Mr. Owaisi is not here to respond in person. Mr. Pathan, you want to quickly respond to that point before I bring in Tawseef Khan?
But I would like him to apologize before the entire nation for taking the name of a party president who is not present in the debate. Such kind of people should not be allowed to come on the debate and make such kind of related statement. They must take back their words and apologize to the entire nation, or wait for our notice of defamation. Wait for that. We will show you what is law, what is defamation.
Fair enough.
Because you are in the habit of that kindly coming to Telangana and show you what the officers have done. Then you will have to apologize to the nation.
Only on this specific issue. Only on this specific issue.
Chappal chatu of RSS you are.
Okay, only again.
Dalla of RSS you are.
No personal attacks, please, Mr. Pathan.
No, I know how to keep this people properly. I know how to reply to this kind of people.
I am sorry. No personal attacks.
We are quiet and silent. Don't think that.
No personal attacks on the debate, but I want to once again bring in Kaushik Dekha for last 30 seconds. Kaushik Dekha, if you were to look at numbers, just numbers, and I want to go by the Joint Parliamentary Committee report, again quoted in your report, quotes the Intelligence Bureau saying it's only about 31,313 individuals who stand to benefit. So this figure of 1.5 crore, is that gross exaggeration, sir? Because the number, according to the Joint Parliamentary Committee report, is just a couple of thousands, 31,000 perhaps. Immediate beneficiaries.
These are people who are on long-term visas. These are people who are on long-term visas in India. So the numbers, as I said, except in Assam, and even in Assam also, not that everyone is who are excluded in NRC are illegal citizens. Apart from Assam, I don't think the numbers are very substantial. They are restricted into certain pockets, and we know where the pockets are, and they have been living there for ages. So the primary allegation that it will create a lot of pressure on our demography, or there will be some crimes against us and all those things, I don't think these are substantiated. And there is a cutoff mark also.
Yes.
But yes, the government, the connect between NRC and CAA and all those things that opposition are also spreading, the government itself helped in spreading those narratives because of those statements that there will be
and that brings fear, Dr. Paswan, the government saying
not required.
Chronology samajhiye, pehle CAA, fir NRC.
That it is for persecuted people, which they didn't.
Guru Prakash Paswan, last 30 seconds, sir.
No, Gaurav, I think Mr. Varis Pathan was repeatedly disturbing when I was making a point. I would like to remind Mr. Varis Pathan that we are run by Samvidhan, we are not run by Sharia. When you speak, other people listen. You should have the grace and the patience to listen when other people speak. And as far as CAA is concerned, I want to challenge you again, once again, stop spreading this misinformation campaign. ये देश संविधान से चलेगा, शरिया से नहीं चलेगा, सर. ये बात लिख लीजिए आप. आपको ये बताना होगा. CAA, you give me one word. You give me one word. You give me one provision that disallows or debars Muslim community. Stop spreading this lies. Stop spreading this canard. You are against CAA. You are against Dalit. You are against CAA. You are against Ambedkar. You are against CAA. You are against the Constitution of India. ये देश संविधान से चलेगा, लोकतंत्र से चलेगा, आपके शरिया से नहीं चलेगा. जाइए जाकर अपना AIMIS
away. This battle is only set to escalate. To all my guests, gentlemen, many thanks for joining me. We wanted to bring all sides of the story to our viewers for them to make up their mind if the CAA is an enabler and whether it discriminates against Pakistani, Afghanistani and Bangladeshi Muslims.